I ate 5,000 calories every single day for an entire year straight, and I didn't miss a single day. It was like a full time job and was one of the hardest things I ever did as a skinny guy. But it worked significantly, and I started out at 60 kilos or 132 pounds, and I now weigh about 97 kilos or 214 pounds. So I've gained over 80 pounds from start to finish. Now, in this video, I'm going to share my experience with you and give you some tips that I've learned along the way of how you can bulk up as a skinny guy and get bigger and stronger. If you would like a complete plan that I put together specifically for hard gainers or skinny guys, click the top link in the description. There's a bunch of meal plans, 60 plus weeks of training, loads of different things like that. So go have a look. So I started out my lifting journey exactly like you. I was super, super skinny, like 60 kilos. I looked frail. I was really shy. I was awkward. And I went to the gym and I literally couldn't even lift the empty 20 kg barbell when I first started. Like, literally, there were girls in the gym outlifting me easily. And I remember even at school, like, we used to do arm wrestles with the girls in our year and stuff. And they would literally beat me in arm wrestles. Like, imagine the embarrassment of being a guy who goes to the gym and stuff, and girls are beating you in arm wrestles and mocking you and stuff like that. So I can relate to a lot of the struggles you've gone through. And back then, I used to say, like, oh, I've got bad genetics. Like, I'm just naturally a skinny guy. I can't gain weight. Like, I've got a small appetite. And I used to spend so much time on Google. And I remember, like, bodybuilding.com forums as well. And I was always researching, like, why can't I gain weight? Like, what's the secret to gaining weight? What foods do I need to eat? What are, like, the special foods that are going to bulk me up and get me bigger? And it was like insanely like confusing and just frustrating because whatever I ate, I just couldn't gain weight. And I thought I was eating all day. I was eating so much food. I was eating huge pizzas and having chocolate milk and stuff like this, and my weight didn't really go up. So one day I just thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna go all in. I'm gonna eat 5,000 calories every single day for one entire year straight. And I did this during the second year of university. At this point, I weighed about 75 kilos. And I think in 1 year, at the start of year two of uni, I went from 75 kilos up to like 95 kilos. And I'll show you like a comparison on screen. But yeah, it worked drastically. And I want to share some tips that I learned from that experience so that you can actually finally gain weight and get bigger and everything. And thought someone just walked in my room. But yeah, so if you want a full plan, then top link in the description, and that will kind of put all these things together plus some extra bonus tips and stuff as well. So basically, I ate the same things every single day, and I made it my job to hit those calories every single day. Like, literally, I would not go to bed, I would not sleep until the calories were hit. Like, I had this non-negotiable thing where if I opened up my fitness pal and there were any calories left, like literally like 5 grams of carbs, 20 calories, I would literally have to eat them before I went to bed. And I know that's quite like obsessive, and I was weighing myself all the time. Probably wasn't the most healthy thing to do, but it did help me to gain weight massively. And I'm not saying like you have to go do this, but sometimes doing extreme things and really committing to like taking an extreme approach for a short period of time can be the way that you like actually make a drastic change. So basically exactly what I did was just I had 4 meals a day plus like a shake before I slept. And meal one, so before I went to lectures in the mornings, I would literally wake up probably pretty late, like 10 minutes before my lecture or something, and I would have like the biggest bowl of cereal I could possibly have. It was usually like Cocoa Pops or Cheerios or something like that, some just like shitty cereal that's just like really high carb. And I would have that with like 500 milliliters of whole milk. Then I would have that as well with 2 scoops of whey protein and also milk in the shake as well. So easily that was like 1,000 plus calories, closer to 1,500. And I would eat that in like 10 minutes before I went to lectures. Meal number two, that would be like on my break from lectures, like lunch. I would have some kind of like lean protein, like chicken, beef. Those are my go-tos. And then I would have pasta, or like I would cook like curly fries or like wedges or something with it. And I would literally have that. And then on the side, I would have 1 or 2 glasses of whole milk as well added to the meal. And again, that was like 1,000 plus calories, 1,500 maybe. For meal three, and this is when I got home from lectures before the gym, I would have literally exactly the same thing again. So I'd just cook it twice and just have it once before, once at lunch, sorry, and once like before I went to train. Then I would go and train, and then for dinner after the gym, it would usually be a whole pizza. So literally any like supermarket, like frozen pizza. And I understand this diet isn't like the healthiest of diet. It wasn't meant to be like healthy. It was for gaining weight. So I'm just recommending you what worked for me to actually finally gain weight, because ultimately it just comes down to calories, and this is the easiest way I found to get it in. So I'd have a pizza after the gym. That was like my nighttime meal. And then before I slept every night, again, just 2 scoops away with like 500 ml of milk. And all of this food came out to like 5,000 calories. And I learned a ton, to be honest, from the experience. Literally, I would make sure I ate this food every single day, non-negotiable, even if I wanted to throw up, even if it felt horrible and I was so bloated. But to be honest, looking back, like the result was I gained like 20 kilos or about there. I went from like 75 to like 95 kilos, and I did get pretty fat in all honesty, but my lifts went up massively. Like I think at this point I was able to hit like a 4 plate squat. I benched 120, so 2.5 plates, and I deadlifted 5 plates, so like 240 kilos just over. And those are probably the numbers that you're like aiming for right now. So really committing to this like 5,000 calorie thing actually just, it helped me get to those numbers. I filled out my clothes. I gained a lot of muscle mass. And then after this process was done, I scaled it back. I went on a cut. I got really lean. I'll show you like from peak bulk to cutting. I think I went back down to like 85 kilos. So the end result was I probably gained like a good 8 to 10 kilos of muscle, maybe a bit less. I don't know. I can't tell exactly, but I completely changed my physique. I looked way different by the end. I was much stronger. I was more confident. So I really think it paid off. And if I didn't take this approach, it probably would have taken me like 3, 4, 5 years to get to that point, because I just wouldn't have eaten enough, and I would have used all these copes and excuses of like, oh, I'm a hard gainer, I'm a skinny guy, I can't eat enough, I don't want to track my food, stuff like this. So literally, I just went all in for 1 year, 5,000 calories every single day, non-negotiable. It has to happen before I sleep. So honestly, I would highly recommend that you commit to doing something similar, like taking an extreme approach, because the approach you're using at the minute hasn't been working, like this half-assed, like you half in, half out, and it hasn't been working. You haven't been gaining weight. That's why you're watching these videos. So go all in for a year and just try and make some actual change. I'm not recommending that you eat like all those shit foods that I was eating. Maybe you could clean it up a bit. But I think taking this approach was very beneficial for me, and I think it could help you out as well. So, like I said, if you want like a full version of this and a full explanation, go for the top link in the description. You'll see there's like 60 weeks of training. There's loads of lectures on this stuff. I give you loads of bonus tips on weight gain, what foods to eat, meal plans, a shopping list, and stuff like that. And I think that'll really help you out to gain some weight. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. My experience with this challenge was very positive. It really helped me to kind of transform my physique and my confidence, and I really hope that it can help you too. So if you have any questions, comments, and things like that, you want to tell me I'm crazy for eating that much food and oh my god, your diet was so bad, post them in the comment section down below. Any questions, I'll get back to you. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.